Stephen Stingray Ray, welcome into the game. I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks so much for spending a couple of minutes with us.
Oh, man, no problem. Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope you guys are doing well as well.
Absolutely. Counting down the hours for a big matchup, and this is the guy that lives in Northport, and he is a big Mississippi State fan, and you see his little rants all over YouTube, and it's been featured on a lot of different national shows as well. But this is a big game for you, for living here in Northport and having a chance to be a Mississippi State fan.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it as well. Tomorrow, Starkville will be rocking. I don't know if you're watching Paul now or not, but it's already rocking in Starkville. And, you know, as we get closer to the game, it's going to be really rocking tomorrow afternoon.
So what's your breakdown? What is your thoughts on the game coming from a Mississippi State guy?
Well, you know, Alabama does have the best front seven in the country. We saw that last week against LSU and Leonard Fournette. Now, the key for Mississippi State is going to be, can our offensive line protect Dak Prescott and give him time to throw the ball around to some of our great wide receivers like De'Runnya Wilson, Fred Ross, Fred Brown, and those guys. Now, if Alabama, like Ashawn Robinson and all those guys are in the backfield chasing Dak around, it's going to be a long day for Mississippi State. But if we can protect Dak Prescott, let him throw the ball around and kind of pick Alabama's defense apart, then I think we got an opportunity to play a close game and hopefully win it in the fourth quarter. And then on the other side of the ball, we basically have got to contain Derrick Henry and put the game in Jake Coker's hands and see if he can go to Ridley or some of those other talented Alabama wide receivers and see if they can get it done through the air.
Now, looking at a weakness for Mississippi State, in your opinion, being a fan, now I look at Alabama, there's some weaknesses on this team that continues to need to get better. But from your perspective, what is the weakness for Mississippi State?
Well, we don't have a run game. And for whatever reason, we've not been able to get a push other than running the ball with Dak Prescott. Our running backs, it's running back by committee over there. So that's an issue, the run game. And then, of course, on the defensive side of the ball, we're a little thin in the secondary because we lost Will Redmond earlier in the year to a torn ACL, and also Kendrick Market to a torn ACL. So we've had some freshmen that have to step up and play well. And our best cover corner over there is Tavez Calhoun, and then it goes down from there. So we're really thin in the secondary, so that's why it's going to be inevitable that Mississippi State put pressure with A.J. Jefferson, Chris Jones, and those guys on Jake Coker and get him rattled early and often in the game tomorrow.
All right, so those cowbells are extremely they're like a pest, man. I mean, from an opposing fan, they're just pesky, right? So
yes, I can understand that.
I mean, it's loud, okay? Your ears ring for hours after, days after the game. What advice because you attend a lot of games there, what advice would you give Alabama fans going to Mississippi State tomorrow and to be able to soak up that game? What advice would you give them?
Make sure you bring earplugs because it is loud. The last time Alabama fans went to Davis Wade, it was only 55,000. Now we've added and bowled in the north end zone, and now we hold 62,000. And so you can only imagine with more cowbells, 62,000 of them, what it's going to be like. So make sure you definitely bring your earplugs because it is going to be noisy and a lot of clanging tomorrow afternoon.
All right, so when you look at your rants, and you have some really good ones and featured on YouTube and I know shared across the social networks, what do you put into one of these rants that you go with as far as your video? I mean, that's a lot of time that you spend making these videos.
Well, it's just a unique background. It usually has something to do with either the football team or their mindset or just something unique for the background. And then always I try to come up with a catchy catchphrase at the end, like "Fear the bell" or "What you gonna do, brother?" or something like that. It's something unique and something that's different every week, so that everybody won't go, oh, this is getting boring. I try to jazz it up every single week.
And you do that, certainly grabbing a lot of attention. Now, I'm looking at your Facebook account. Is this billboard? Is this photoshopped, or is this actual billboard that's there?
This is actually a billboard in Starkville on Highway 12, where the Kroger comes out there near the Walmart there in Starkville. So it's actually a billboard in Starkville. And
it's, hey, Alabama, what you gonna do, brother? And a lot of question mark there.
Right. And I've also had that one. I've had to sign up for the, let's see, the LSU game, the Auburn game, Kentucky, Alabama, and, of course, the Egg Bowl matchup with that school up north.
Now, you're an Alabama alum, though, right?
Yes.
So you grew up in this area, but how did you develop into becoming a Mississippi State fan, or was that prior to going to Alabama that you've always been a Mississippi State guy?
No, I grew up here, was born and raised, and then my second love is weather. I really love everything about meteorology.
Sure. And
Mississippi State has one of the best meteorology programs in the country. And so in 2005, I went over there, toured the campus, got accepted to Mississippi State, fell in love with it, and then at the last second decided that sports broadcasting would be a better avenue for me. So I stayed at home here in Tuscaloosa, got my degree from the University of Alabama, but my heart was set in Starkville once I stepped on campus.
All right, before we let you go, and as the billboard reminds us, it is Mississippi State Rants, or Miss State Rants is the way that you can find it on YouTube, and there's a lot of great ones there, some that are very entertaining, a lot of creativity going into this. So will you give us a little bit of a, I don't know if a mini rant here at the end, or maybe just your prediction on the game as we go out of this conversation?
Absolutely, man. Alabama, what you going to do, brother? What you going to do when the DAC attack and Mississippi State passes all over you tomorrow?
Stingray, thanks so much, man. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow at the game. Thank you again.
Thank you, guys.